You know what always grabs me? A weird discovery on another planet. Like, I saw this headline, mysterious skull-shaped rock found on Mars.
Oh, yeah. That definitely catches the eye.
Right. You just have to know more. So, for this deep dive, we're going to try and unpack that story. This rock, NASA's unofficially calling it Skull Hill.
Skull, okay.
Yeah, we got some news reports about it found by the Perseverance rover and NASA's first thoughts. So the mission today basically is to figure out what we know about this thing, where it came from, and why scientists are so curious.
Sounds good. It's like finding something really unexpected, right out there on the Jezero crater rim.
Mm-hmm.
Perseverance spotted it, April 11th it was. And the pictures are from its Mastcam Z instrument. Just amazing tech we have exploring up there.
Totally. Okay, so let's really try to picture it. What does Skull Hill actually look like if we were standing there?
Well, the reports really stress how different it looks from everything around it.
Okay.
Imagine the usual Mars scene, right?
Yeah.
Kind of light-colored, lots of dust. That's the background. Then boom, there's this rock. It's dark, it's angular, and the pictures show it's covered in these tiny little pits.
The pips. Like holes.
Yeah, exactly. NASA called it a flute rock that really contrasts with the light tone stuff nearby because of its dark color and shape. That contrast is the first thing, really. It looks like it doesn't belong.
A dark, jagged, pitted rock
Yeah.
sitting in lighter, dusty terrain.
Yeah, that definitely sounds out of place. So what's NASA thinking? How did this weird rock get there? Do they? Don't have any theories yet.
Well, they're definitely not shrugging it off. The articles are clear. The origin is currently a big question mark.
A mystery.
That's a key point right there. This isn't just some ordinary Martian rock. It needs, a closer look.
Right, a mystery. But they must have some early ideas, surely. Like, what about those pits? Any thoughts on what caused them?
They do, yeah. A couple of main ideas for the pits. One is just erosion, the rock wearing down over time.
Makes sense.
Specifically, they think maybe softer bits inside the rock, called clasts, eroded away. Clasts. Okay, so for someone like me, not a geologist, what are clasts? Like little chunks inside?
Yeah, exactly. Think of them as smaller fragments or different mineral bits making up the bigger rock. So
Okay.
if those bits are softer, they wear away faster, and that could leave these pits behind.
Uh-huh.
The other idea is wind scouring. Mars's atmosphere is thin, sure, but wind can still shape things over really long timescales.
Wind. Yeah, you hear about the dust storms. That seems plausible.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the rock itself? Where did this dark, angular thing come from? Did it just, I don't know, grow there?
Huh. Probably not grow there. No, they're looking at a few possibilities for its origin, too.
Okay.
One idea, it's an igneous rock, formed from cooled magma or lava.
Right.
And maybe it eroded off by rocky outcrop, just weathered away and ended up there.
So a local piece.
Could be. Or the other main theory is that it got blasted there, ejected from an impact crater somewhere else.
Ah, like a meteorite impact through it.
Exactly. A big impact can throw rocks really far across the surface.
So either it's local rock weathered funny, or it's a traveler thrown by some big event. Now this is where it gets really interesting for me. The article said the color reminded the team of something else.
Yes. That's a key observation. The team noted its dark color looks quite a bit like meteorites that the other rover, Curiosity, found over in Gale Crater.
Wait, like actual meteorites?
Like-
From space?
That's the connection they're making, yeah. It looks similar in color, so it raises this really intriguing possibility. Could Skull Hill itself be a meteorite?
Boy.
Meaning it didn't come from Mars at all, but from somewhere else in the solar system and just landed there.
Okay, that rounds up the mystery quite a bit. A visitor from space, potentially. But the article stressed it's still early days, right? They're still investigating.
Oh, absolutely. NASA's statements really emphasize that. The team's actively working to figure out where these, interesting rocks came from and how they got there.
So what does that involve? Looking closer at the pictures.
Probably that, yes. And maybe using some of Perseverance's other tools to analyze its chemistry, if they can get close enough or decide it's worth the detour.
Gotcha. Now, the article kind of shifts gears after this, linking the rock to the bigger search for life on Mars. How does that connection work? Seems like a bit of a jump from one weird rock.
Well, it's less a direct link and more about context, Okay, finding Skull Hill, this geological puzzle, it's happening while we're doing all this other work, trying to understand if Mars ever could have supported life. It's part of that bigger picture. And the article mentions other recent findings that add to that story.
Ah, I see. Like those those frozen sand dunes they found, the
Oh,
ones that weren't moving.
exactly. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter saw those back in January. Kidney bean-shaped, frozen solid in the northern parts of Mars.
Yeah, weird. Not like dunes on Earth at all.
Right. The fact they seem so static tells us something interesting about Mars's current climate and geology. It just highlights how different Martian processes can be.
And wasn't there something last year, like October, about microbes possibly living under the ice?
Yes, that NASA study, really fascinating stuff. It suggested that even now, in the cold, sunlight might get through the ice just enough to allow photosynthesis in little pools of meltwater right underneath. So potentially liquid water and an energy source. It sort of opens up possibilities for life in places we maybe didn't expect.
Wow. Little hidden habitats. And going way back, didn't they find Mars's magnetic field might have lasted longer than we thought? That affects habitability, doesn't
It
it?
absolutely does. That's a big deal. The thinking now is a magnetic field might have hung around until about 3.9 billion years ago.
Instead of 4.1 billion.
Exactly. And why that matters for you, for us, is that a magnetic field shields the planet from harsh solar radiation.
Right, like Earth's.
Precisely. So if it lasted longer, early Mars was protected for longer. That gives life, if it ever started, a bigger window, a better chance to get going, and maybe even thrive. It's not just some geology fact. It's key to understanding if Mars could have been habitable.
So, putting it all together, we've got this weird skull rock, frozen dunes, maybe water under the ice, a longer-lasting magnetic shield. What's the big takeaway for us listening? Why is this all so compelling?
Well, I think what it really shows is that Mars is still full of surprises,
Yeah.
Every new discovery, even a strange rock like Skull Hill, adds a piece to the puzzle. It helps
Yeah.
us understand Mars's past, its present, and crucially, its potential for life, past or maybe even present.
Like putting together a giant jigsaw.
Exactly. And sometimes these seemingly small or quirky finds, like this rock, they turn out to be really important clues for the bigger picture of the red planet.
Okay, good way to think about it.
Yeah.
So let's just quickly recap the main points from this deep dive on Skull Hill.
Okay, so we've got this mysterious rock found by Perseverance. It's dark, angular, pitted, looks out of place.
Yeah.
NASA's dubbed it Skull Hill, unofficially. Its origin. Still uncertain. That's key.
Right, the mystery.
Possible explanations include erosion of local rock, maybe igneous rock,
Right.
or it could have been thrown there by an impact. And then there's the really intriguing idea, based on its color, that it might even be a meteorite,
A visitor.
potentially. And the investigation is definitely ongoing. But importantly, this discovery fits into that wider search for clues about life on Mars, alongside other cool findings about dunes, potential subsurface water, and the planet's early magnetic field. It all builds our picture of Mars.
Okay, great summary. So here's something to chew on, a final thought maybe. What does finding a rock like this, so unusual, its origin still unknown, what does that tell us about the surprises still out there? Not just on Mars, but maybe other planets, other moons. Could these seemingly random features, things that just look weird or out of place, could they actually hold hidden clues? Keys to unlocking a planet's history, or even its potential to host life?
It definitely makes you wonder what else is waiting for us to find, doesn't it?
It really does. Definitely something to think about as we keep exploring.